regards to your best friend, how did you two meet each other?
I met my best friend at work.
Number 2, do you think love at first sight is real? Why or why not?
I think love at first sight is real, but it's very rare because when you see a person for the first time, you think of this person makes an impression of a person you imagined in your head, but in fact, maybe it later it turns out, it may turn out this person is quite different. So you may break up.
Number 3, when was the time you were head over heels in love with someone?
I was head over heels in love with my classmate.
Number 4, who was the last person you were in a relationship with?
The last person I was in a relationship with, the last person was my husband.
Number 5, why do people fall in love?
People fall in love because yet they need love. They admire people, their talents, their personalities, unique, maybe unique personalities, and so on. So they for very easy fall in love. That's we need love for our life. Of course, we need love to raise our kids, to raise our family. We need love even to make business. That's why we are very easy to fall in love.
Number 6, when was the last time you had a crush on somebody?
So the first time I crashed on on a boy when I was in a kindergarten, when I was maybe 5 or 6 years old.
Number 7, how does a person hit on somebody?
A person hit on somebody when he or she says compliments, he looks at a person he likes very much and he maybe invites him out, calls him or her out, and maybe gives or presents presents or gifts to that person. Okay, that's all.
Number 8, what is one way a person can ask somebody out?
What? So you may ask somebody out by inviting him or her to the theater, to the cinema, to just to go for a walk in the park and speak, and or just to go for a walk in your area, in the area you live. Just enjoy your company or his company. Her
Number
company.
9, when was the last time you went out with somebody?
So the last time I went out with my husband was on the 25th of December this last year. It is our tradition to go out with my husband on this date because it's we got married 21 years ago.
Number 10, where would you like to go on a date?
I would like to go on a date. I would like to go to a cinema, to the theater, to a cafe maybe, or to just to go on vacation.
Number 11, what is the longest you've dated somebody?
So we had been dating with my future husband for 2 hours, for 2 years.
Number 12, would you rather be exclusively dating or just seeing somebody?
I would rather see somebody, enjoy the company of my friend, but if there is an exclusively dating, I wouldn't mind. I don't mind.
Number 13, why is it important to you to have a lot in common with your significant other?
So it is very important for me to have a lot in common with my significant other, because it is easy. It is easy to we get on well with each other, and we getting on well, and we're getting along. Uh-huh. And there's no quarrels. We understand each other very good, and and so it is very convenient if your partner shares your views. There's no conflicts, no fights.
Number 14. What type of personalities do you get along with?
So I got along with the personality who has a lot in common with me.
Number 15. Why do some people want to no strings attached?
Some people have just maybe no strings attached. Want a no strings attached type of relationship, because some of they are married and they have only one night stand relationship, so they want to relax, or another people, they don't want to get married at all. They don't want children, don't want to start a family. They want just to seeing someone from time to time, uh, with no strings attached, with no obligations.
Type of relationship. Number 16. Why do you think some husbands are tied to their wives' apron strings?
So I think some husbands are tied to their wives' apron strings because they love their wives. They want them to be happy, to be in a good mood. This is not just negative side. I think it is a positive, and that means that the husband respects, and want. He asks, but he does not everything what his wife said to him to do, but he agrees with his wife. That's why it may say as people may think that he is tied to his wife's apron strings, but in fact he loves his wife.
Number 17. Why do you think making love is an important part of a relationship?
Yes, I think it's important part of relationship, but this side of relationship is very delicate for me to discuss.
Number 18. When do you feel it is a good time to get married to somebody?
It's a good time. Okay, a good time to marry is when you don't when you are not tied to your mom's apron strings. You see, when you earn your money, and you can be responsible for the family, for your kids, and you have an education and you have a job. Um, that's a good time to get married.
Number 19. At what age did your mother get pregnant with you?
My mother was pregnant with me when she was 20 years old.
Number 20. At what age do you think it's acceptable to have a baby?
It is acceptable to have a baby at when you get a job, or you may have a baby at 20 if you have a good husband and he is responsible for you and for your kid, for the whole family. And you may have a baby at 33 when you made a career and you have time for your baby, you have time to look after him. And you may have a baby at 40 to 45 if you are healthy enough to have a baby and to raise the baby, and you can give him, you are sure you can give him an education, you can give um, and he get an education and your support until he will be grown up.
Number 21. What do you think is the hardest part about long distance relationships?
The hard part is that you can't see each other. So when it is long distance relationships, we have this type of relationship with my husband. When I was a student and he worked in another city, but that was very hard that time 20 years ago. But now it is not so. There's no problem because you may speak to each other on Skype and on Viber and on WhatsApp. So I don't think it is very hard. So the hardest part that you can see, you can hold hands. So maybe this is the hardest part.
Number 22. Would you prefer to be in a relationship or married before starting a family?
So I would prefer be married before starting a family, but you may be in a relationship, have a baby, and get married later.
Number 23. After how long do you think it is acceptable to move in with somebody?
It is acceptable to move in with somebody whenever you like. I know when you feel you are ready. You're ready to share a household, and so I know a pair, wife and a husband, that they have two nice children now, and so they went. He went. He moved in with her the same day they met.
Number 24. Why do couples drift apart from one another?
So couples very often drift apart from one another because maybe after they they it is very difficult because to go out it is one thing, and to live together it is another. It is a different thing, and you may have your own routines, your own preferences, and it's hard to get used to another partner's routines and preferences. But these misunderstandings maybe you left apart if people really love each other and understand and try to understand each other's needs.
Number 25. How does it feel to break somebody's heart?
To break somebody's heart, how does it feel? It's very hard, of course, to break somebody's heart. You may cry, you may people cry, people can even suicide. It's very often people when a person breaks up with his partner, another person couldn't stand that, and take pills, a lot of pills, not to wake up. So it is very hard to break somebody's heart. It's very difficult, but sometimes it happens.
Number 26. Why do some couples get back together after years apart?
So some couples get back together after years apart. Maybe they change, they understand, they see the world, they see other people, and they understand that maybe this person is the only person you like, you want to see next to you. Maybe this partner is the best for you, after all.
Number 27. What do you think about unrequited love?
Unrequited love, it is a one-parted love, when one person is in love and then, the other is not. It happens very often. I had this unrequited love when I was a school girl, but the boy didn't know about my love at all. Only my diary keeps this secret. So it was hard time for me maybe, but all the same I was happy. I was happy and I was unhappy at the same time. Difficult to say.
Number 28. Why is it unacceptable to cheat on somebody?
It is unacceptable to cheat on some. Okay, it is unacceptable, of course, because if you are cheating on your husband or on your wife, it is maybe it is equal to betrayal, if I'm correct. So this is the reason many couples drifted apart from each other and break up. So it is not appropriate, it's not acceptable to cheat on somebody if you if you are married.
Number 29. Why do some people have affairs?
Some people have affairs. Why do some people? Because they want to relax, and maybe the situations are different. Maybe his husband or her wife, his wife or her husband are ill, and they need to make love with someone else. That's why people have affairs, and they want to just to relax with no strings attached, to explore something new, maybe.
Number 30. What is one reason to break up with somebody?
So one reason.
What is one reason to split up with somebody?
So the one reason is to cheating on somebody is the reason why couples are breaking up.
Number 31. Why do couples sometimes get into fights?
So they don't maybe get into fights, they don't understand the actions of their partners, so they or their partners behave not very well, they cheat on and with somebody, so that's why they have fights, get into fights.
Number 32. Who was the last person you fell out with?
The last person I fell out with was my dad.
Number 33. Why is it important to make up with somebody?
It is good for our nerves maybe to make up with somebody, because to live in a war is not very good for your health, not very good for your close people. So the bad peace is better than a very good war. I think there's a proverb.
Number 34. What is one reason to be mad at somebody?
To be mad at somebody. To be mad at somebody. Lots of reasons. Okay, one reason. So you are in a hurry because it's time. You are in a hurry because your child is going to have exam, important exam today. He's going to take an exam, but he overslept, and he is very slow to get dressed, to have breakfast, and so on. So you are get, and you are mad at him at that moment because you are very anxious. He can miss his exam because it's a very important exam. It's a state exam after the 9th grade.
Number 35. Do you think divorce is acceptable or unacceptable?
I think divorce is acceptable and it's unacceptable. It depends on the situation, of course. It is, yes, it is acceptable. It can be acceptable, and in many situations.